Question number 1, identity and access management. A system administrator is working on a solution with the following requirements. Provide a secure zone, first of all, then enforces a company-wide access control policy. As said, it reduces the scope of threats. So which one of the following is the system administrator setting up? The second question is about cryptography. A company must ensure sensitivity data at rest is rendered unreadable. Which one of the following will the company most likely use? Threat management. Malware spread across a company network after an employee visited a compromised industry blog. Which one of the following best describes this type of attack? Question number 4. Which one of the following involve an attempt to take advantage of database misconfiguration? Question number 5. Which one of the following practice would be the best to prevent an insider from introducing malicious code into company development process? Question number 6. Which one of the following describe a security alerting and monitoring tool that collects system, application, and a network log from multiple sources in centralized system? Question number 7. One of the company vendors sent analyzed security bulletin that recommends a BIOS update. Which one of the following vulnerability type is being arrested by the patch? Hello everyone, I am Aklilu and I'm thrilled to have you here today for another exciting learning journey. It's my pleasure to welcome to 591 Lab. Today we embark on a focused exploration into CompTIA Security Plus certification exam topics. Please don't forget to hit subscribe button and ring the notification bell so that you will never miss our upcoming lessons and exam topics. Before we directly dive into our discussion, let me provide you with a brief overview of what 591 Lab is all about. 591 Lab, pronounced as 591 Lab, is the top IT training and certification exam brand in China, Hong Kong, Taiwan, and Singapore. Our mission at 591 Lab is to provide our clients with exceptional exam preparation experience for certification in Cisco, CompTIA, Aruba, Juniper, Palo Alto, and Fortinet exam tracks. So today we are going to discuss some interesting exam topics on CompTIA Security Plus. Now let's dive into details. CompTIA Security is a vendor-neutral entry-level cybersecurity certification which allows to validate foundational IT security knowledge and skills. It covers a broad range of topics that are relevant to the modern IT security concepts, since that makes it valuable stepping for everyone who wants to start a cyber security career. So in today's agenda we cover 4 topics. Our first is identity and access management, second cryptography, third threat management, and our fourth is vulnerability. Question number 1, identity and access management. A system administrator is working on a solution with the following requirements. Provide a secure zone, first of all, then enforces a company-wide access control policy. As said, it reduces the scope of threats. So which one of the following is the system administrator setting up? A, zero trust. B, AA, or what we call is that? Authentication, authorization, and accounting. C, non-repudiation. D, CIA, which is confidentiality, integrity, and availability. The list of requirements. The system administrator is most likely setting up a zero trust environment. So the correct answer is this one, that is a zero trust environment or zero trust network. Zero trust network. Let's see this in detail. Traditionally, we have such kinds of network. There is an open gate which everyone has access to everything, like a public park. This open gates. There's an internal user. These are trusted user. These are trusted by default, so they can freely access every resources and the data in any company. Attackers, as we all know, can potentially gain access to any resource if the breach is happen, or if there is a breach parameter. So there is a public network, their internal network, then the attackers outside the network. So the traditional network architecture is resemble this, while a zero trust network look like this. It have three main concentration areas. The first is continuous verification. Every request is checked and approved before access is granted. So every user should be authenticated before he enters into the company's internal infrastructure to access any data or resources. Second is least privilege. User can only get access to specific resource. This means there is what we call that an access control list. Everyone has its own permission and role. So, like a gated community with individual key, every person has a specific resource they want to access. The third is micro segmentation. This means network is divided into various smaller secure zones, which eliminates the damage from breaches. So we can divide into zone 1, zone 2, zone 3, and zone 4. For example, if someone has his own house, rather than locking the outside door only, it means locking the kitchen, locking the bedroom, and locking other classes to ensure more security. This is a zero trust architecture, which resembles broadly to see that zero trust architecture. There is a user application. So at the first stage, it should be verified. It verify every access attempts. Then it determines its eligibility. What we say is that role and access, roles and at which permission. So this is the first step, authentication. This is role and permission or access control list. The third is which surface or which zone this individual user are eligible, whether in service, whether to asset, to data, or to application. So it's determined in such a way. Zero trust architecture ensures the security. So it's important to note that zero trust security reduces the attack surface. As you can see from this, it reduces the attack surface, since a smaller attack surface make it harder for attacker to reach critical resource, and also it limits the damage since it is divided into various zones. So maybe a specific zone can be attacked rather than in traditional network all the zone will be infected. So it minimizes our impact. The third is stronger security. This means continuous verification and least privilege. It makes harder for any unauthorized user. So that is the reason we choose the zero trust network. So this zero trust could be the right answer, while this could not be the answer. AA could not be the answer. AA could not be the answer. It is not the answer because authentication, authorization, and accounting is relevant to security and access control, but it is not specific solution like zero trust and does not directly address the scope trees. It can't reduce the scope trees. So this could not be the answer, while non-reputation could not be the answer, because this ensures accountability for actions but doesn't focus on creating a secure zone or reducing the scope of threats. While third is the D option is about confidentiality, integrity, and accessibility or availability. These are fundamental security goals, but zero trust is specific architecture and philosophy for achieving the system administrator solutions that are listed in this topic. Therefore, considering all the requirements, zero trust is most likely a solution to this system administrator setting up. So you have to remember that. While zero trust is effective in addressing this specific requirement, it's just one element of comprehensive security strategy. Implementing additional security measure and best practice alongside with zero trust is crucial for any strong organizational posture or organizational security. The second question is about cryptography. A company must ensure sensitivity data at rest is rendered unreadable. Which one of the following will the company most likely use? A. Hashing, B. Tokenization, C. Encryption, D. Segmentation. The answer to this is encryption. Encryption is the correct answer. Here is why encryption is the correct answer, because it allows direct data protection. That means encryption directly transforms the data itself into unreadable, scrambled format using any cryptographic algorithm and secret keys like algorithm, data encryption algorithm, RSA or reversed Shamir and Adelman algorithm. There are various algorithms and various keys like symmetric and asymmetric keys we can use to encrypt and decrypt any data. So the second option is it's reversible. Encryption is reversible, while encryption renders data unreadable. It's also reversible using some correct key by using some correct way. This means it allows authorized user to access and decrypt the data when needed. So hashing could not be the answer. Hashing could not be the answer because it's simply a process of creating a unique and a fixed length string or hash from data input. But this is not be reversible. It is irreversible. It's primarily used for integrity verification and password storage. So this is not specifically used for protecting data confidentiality at rest. Tokenization could not be the answer because this involves replacing sensitive data with non-sensitive token, but it doesn't directly protect the original data itself. It's useful for reducing exposure during any transaction like banking transaction, but doesn't guarantee confidentiality if this token is compromised. So this doesn't guarantee confidentiality. Segmentation also could not be the answer because this is simply a strategy used for isolate any sensitive data within a specific network of segments or system. So this doesn't inherently render the data unreadable at rest. So it's essential security measure, but it's not for direct data protection way. So encryption is a correct answer. Let's see this in detail about encryption. So in encryption there are key points to remember. Encryption is a gold standard for protecting sensitive data at rest. It safeguards confidentiality by making data unreadable to any unauthorized parties. It's also reversible, which allows authorized user to access data when needed. Other techniques like hashing, tokenization, and segmentation play an important role in security, but they don't provide the same level as encryption. So how encryption is work? Assume that you have treasure chest filled with priceless jewels or jewelries. So here is how encryption works. The first step is locking up using encrypting data using powerful algorithm and secret key transform into seemingly random string character, like scrambling the combination to your lockbox or something like that. Second is safe and sound. The encrypted data become unreadable, like locked treasure or chest. Even if someone stumbles upon, they will not able to understand its content. Third is unlocking for any authorized user. Any authorized user need to access the data. They simply use the correct key to unlock it. It's like having the right combination to your lockbox. So beyond this question, encryption can provide several benefits. The first is compliance. Many regulation and industry standard require data encryption to ensure confidentiality. Secondly, they reduce risk. Encryption minimize the impact of data breach by making stolen data unusable. Third is peace of mind, which knowing your data is encrypted provide peace of mind. So in our discussion, the correct answer is encryption. So you have to remember that encryption is like a powerful shield for our data. It's not just a technical solution, it's a strategic investment for any organization, security and reputation. So by embracing encryption, you will ensure our valuable information remains safe and sound. Threat management. Malware spread across a company network after an employee visited a compromised industry blog. Which one of the following best describes this type of attack? A. Impersonation. B. Disinformation. C. Watering hole. D. Smishing. The most likely type of attack in this scenario is C. That is a watering hole attack. When we see A cannot be the answer, since impersonation is while attacker might impersonate individual or entity to gain trust. This would not necessarily explain how malware spread across a network after visiting a website. Second is disinformation. This refers to spreading misleading information, not directly injecting a malware into a system. Therefore, in this scenario, focuses on malware delivery, not manipulating information. While smishing is involve phishing attempt using SMS. This scenario doesn't mention with a website, so this could not be the answer. Though the correct answer is watering hole. Watering hole. This tactic targets a website frequently visited by specific groups of an employee of some particular governmental agency or a company. By compromising the website, attacker can get a way to inject a malware or exploit some vulnerability to infect a visitor's system. This precisely aligns with the described scenario where visiting a compromised industry blog led to network-wide malware infection. Let's see this. Imagine a watering hole in Savannah. Animal are employee and their device, while predator is the attacker with a malware, while watering hole is a compromised industry blog. So in first step, the attacker poisons the watering hole injects malicious code, exploits in the block. Then animal come to drink like an employee visit the block or industry news or an information. So now the infection spread in two ways. The first is drive by download, when malicious code automatically trigger upon visiting the block of the infected device. Second is phishing link. The block redirects a phishing website and contains a malicious link to download affected file. So in such a way, the infection spread. At the end, the network will be compromised. Infected device become entry point for further malware spread with the company network. In traditional network, we have public, internet, then industry block, this company network. So the employee, here is the employee, come to visit the industry block, while the affected could be like this. Watering hole attack. There is an affected device, there is an affected block, there is public internet. So the employee will come here and see the infected block. Then the device will be affected. So the attacker will get the malicious link, phishing link, and the malware to download from this infected block. A real world scenario, remembering RSA 2011 and beyond. In 2011, attacker compromised Adobe Flash updates embedded in RSA website. When RSA employee download this update, the computer become affected with malware, granting attacker access to company internal network and sensitive data. This attack served as wake-up call for organization, highlighting vulnerability of trusted resource. So watering hole strategy, just like predator waiting at watering hole to prey, attacker in this target website frequently by specific group like industry forums, online communities, and the software download hubs. So what are the impacts of watering hole attack? It leads to data breach, network infiltration, and disruption of the operation. So this will be resulted. So our question is on malware spread across the company. So the correct answer will be the watering hole. Watering hole will be the correct answer. Question number 4. Which one of the following involve an attempt to take advantage of database misconfiguration? A. Buffer overflow, B. SQL injection, C. Virtual machine escape, D. Memory injection. I think this is a simple question, since if something is related to database, it could be an SQL injection, since database related with MySQL or SQL query. The SQL injection specifically targets vulnerability in database application. Attacker can inject malicious SQL statement using input fields to manipulate the database by passing intended controls. So database misconfiguration leads to SQL injection attack. This is the simple question, since lack of input validation and output encoding, this will result from database misconfiguration. Let me see it in detail. So SQL injection is common and dangerous attack technique. It can lead to data theft, corruption, even complete system compromise. To prevent SQL injection, organization must validate all user input, use parameterized queues, keep data software and libraries updated, implement proper access control and user permission. They should regularly scan vulnerabilities to their application securities, and therefore the correct answer would be SQL injection? This is a simple question. Buffer overflow, this is doesn't directly involve in database. This does not involve in database activity. It simply exploit memory related vulnerability to execute some arbitrary codes not directly targeting the database, while virtual machine escape breaks out of virtual machine to gain control of any host system. So this is not specifically exploiting database issue, while memory injection injects a malicious code into running processor memory, not targeting database directly. So again, the correct answer will be SQL injection. So all the choice doesn't directly related to a database. Question number 5. Which one of the following practice would be the best to prevent an insider from introducing malicious code into company development process? A. Code scanning for vulnerabilities. B. Open source component usage. C. Quality assurance testing. D. Peer review and approval. Here the correct answer is D. That is peer review and approval. Why peer review and approval is the most effective practice to prevent insider threats is because they have multiple eyes on code, while previewing it requires other developer to examine code changes thoroughly before they are integrated into the code base. This increases the likelihood of spotting malicious code, as it's less likely that multiple developers would collude to introduce vulnerability. Secondly, it is what we call that shared responsibility. Peer review fosters a sense of collective ownership and accountability for code quality. Thirdly, it's diverse perspective. Different developers bring unique perspective and expertise to review process, which enhances quality and potential issues. So, code scanning and vulnerability is valuable for detecting vulnerability. This is simply for detecting vulnerability. It might miss cleverly disguised malicious code or zero-day vulnerability. So simply it is for detecting any vulnerabilities that are issued as common vulnerabilities, while open source component usage is introduce a risk if components aren't properly vetted, but it doesn't directly address insider issue. This can't directly address insider issue. See quality assurance and testing. This mainly focus on identifying bugs and functional issues, not specifically detecting the malicious code. So peer review is best practice for insider. This is the benefit of peer review. Best practice for effective peer review: everyone should have a clear guideline, establish a clear expectation for code quality, securing and review process. Second is reviewer should be selected appropriately using expertise. Third, structured feedback, provide a constructive feedback focusing on improving code quality and security. So how peer review work? Let me see. It's like on the whole, developers submit their code changes, which are then reviewed by their peers. It's likely nice taking turns to inspect every word brick by brick, searching for crack or weakness. It's, as we see already, it's shared responsibility. Every pair of eyes, another layer of defense. There is also what we call the different perspective. Everyone has its own perspective. It brings a unique perspective and expertise to review the process enhancing, which helps to identify potential issue, including the malicious code. Okay, the next is question number 6. Which one of the following describe a security alerting and monitoring tool that collects system, application, and a network log from multiple sources in centralized system, SIEM or security information event management? B. DLP or data loss prevention. C. IDS intrusion detection system. D. SNM or security network management. So the correct answer for this is C. SIEM is the correct answer, because SIEM is a centralized log collection. SIEM, it aggregates log from various sources, and they have a security alerting system, and also they have tools integrated to monitor. Let me see it in detail. Here is a breakdown of SIEM, a centralized log collection. SIEM solution aggregates log from various sources across IT infrastructure, including system, application, network, and security device. This centralized repository makes it easier to analyze and correlate events for a comprehensive view of security activity. Okay, secondly, security alerting. SIEM system analyzes a collector log in real time to detect potential threats or anomalies, while in case of monitoring, SIEM tool continuously monitors security events, providing visibility into network traffic. So key benefit of SIEM: they have early threat detection, they have compliance, they facilitate compliance security regulation, they investigate any incidents, they have a threat intelligence integration that are related with artificial intelligence cases. So if you are a digital army, so SIEM is simply protecting your organization from cyber attack. It is your security command center. SIEM is simply assuming that you are a digital army, so your SIEM is your security command center. So the correct answer is C. B could not be the answer. DLP is simply a data loss prevention. It focuses on preventing unauthorized data exfiltration. So this could be not the answer. B could not be the answer. While IDS is intrusion detection system, monitor network for malicious activity and intrusion attempt. This could not be. SNMP is manages and analyzes network security devices and configuration. So C is the correct answer. Question number 7. One of the company vendors sent analyzed security bulletin that recommends a BIOS update. Which one of the following vulnerability type is being arrested by the patch? A. Virtualization. B. Firmware. C. Application. D. Operating system. Actually, BIOS, this means basic input and output stream, is a type of firmware. It's a low-level software embedded in a computer motherboard that controls essential hardware function, including booting the system, managing hardware components, and providing basic security feature. BIOS update specifically addresses vulnerability discovered in the BIOS firmware itself. So the correct answer is firmware. Since this vulnerability could allow attacker to gain any unauthorized access to the system, they will be able to manipulate hardware setting, even implant malware that persists after operating system reinstallation. While virtualization could not be the answer, since it refers to creating a virtual environment to run multiple operating systems on a single hardware platform like personal computer or any other. BIOS vulnerability are not specific to virtualization component. While this vulnerability in application are typically raised through software patches specifically on those applications, while operating system could not be the answer, since operating system vulnerabilities are usually patched through operating system updates, which are separate from BIOS updates. So firmware vulnerability is just critical as operating system or application vulnerability. Keeping for firmware, everyone should keep their firmware updated, because it's essential and critical to update our firmware. So it's crucial to follow vendor recommendation for BIOS updates to ensure your systems are protected from potential firmware level threats. Thank you for your participation in today's class at 591 Lab. We trust that you found the material was informative and beneficial. Mastery of any new skill requires consistent practice, so we encourage you to revisit the course content and continue practicing with assistance of 591 Lab support. Should you have any question or concern, please feel free to reach out to us. Your active involvement is greatly appreciated, and we eagerly anticipate your presence in our upcoming class. Wishing you a wonderful day ahead.